Hello YouTube. So, today I want to talk about wallpaper removal. See, I just bought a house, which means, yes, flex on millennials, dab on millennials. Let's get to work. It's a gorgeous mid-century home with some really cool mid-century amenities. But, of course, it also means wallpaper. Wallpaper.
Wallpaper! Wallpaper!
Clouds? Wallpaper is weird stuff because it's got like this weird Schrodinger's glue, which simultaneously doesn't let wallpaper stick to drywall when you first apply it, but also then turns into this satanic substance that is weird and awful to remove. Anyways, in the bathroom is probably the easiest exercise, primarily because it's always steamy in here and there's always steamy turds going on. So this stuff comes right off. You probably don't even need to wet it. See, it barely left a mark and we didn't have to scrape or anything. On top of that, this is covered in foil, so it's like really strong against ripping. So nothing special was needed here. Just pry it open, pry it up on a corner, and it peeled right off. Then there's the paper kind, and it's only paper. All you need to do for this is mix a 50-50 solution of vinegar and water, take a paint roller in a bucket, and just apply it on the wallpaper. Let it soak in, cover up any receptacles and switches, preferably with some tape, and then you use a razor blade like this one, and it kind of sort of comes off. This one's a pretty long slog, but not too bad. Then there's wallpaper like this. This is covered in some kind of plasticky vinyl stuff, so you can't just put water on it and it won't just soak it up. You need to buy a perforator or a hole maker. This one's made by Piranha. So you just continue to perforate it until all of it is covered. Then you take the roller and you wet it. Not like sopping wet. Do let it dry off a little bit. You don't need the water to just run down and get into your wood floors and potentially warp them. Starting from the corner, you peel it up either using your fingers or a razor blade. Try to avoid tearing it. This particular wallpaper is easier removed when you peel from the bottom up. This might not be true for all wallpapers. They all have their own unique flavors and characteristics, but look how nicely it holds together, and you can basically go floor to ceiling. So removing the wallpaper leaves behind its paper backing, so just use a sprayer bottle. Is that 50-50 vinegar and water? Yes. And just wet it, let it sit for about 5 minutes. Now here's what you do for the paper backing it leaves behind. Like I said earlier, this also removes fairly easily once you let it soak. It also seems to take pretty kindly removing from floor to ceiling. It's also probably beneficial to lay down some plastic tarp around the perimeter of the room so you can just roll it up and throw it away when it's done, but we were too lazy to do that, so whatever. Once entirely removed, you go over it with some sandpaper and to remove any imperfections in the wall. Also, it might be beneficial to carry some spackle because you might discover that there are some hidden holes behind the wallpaper. Next up, you're going to want to sand. use 120, 150 grit, and this gets rid of any remaining pieces of paper, anywhere where you might have damaged the drywall and it's kind of gouged like that. A great way to smooth it over so that there's nothing sticking up. Because once you paint it, it'll definitely show up, so you definitely want to go through with this. Like for example here, it's a bit of wallpaper remaining. Let's see how the sandpaper deals with it. And it's for the most part gone, and more importantly, it's flush with the wall, so it doesn't really matter if it's there or not. You won't see it once you paint over it. Some wallpapers, like in this room, remove really easily, all in one piece. Others, not so lucky. And you'll be doing a lot of this. You're also going to want to remove the outlet covers carefully. Understand that high voltage exists here, and you could get shocked if you touch an exposed wire. Just for the sake of details, remove the wallpaper that's here as well. On particularly big gouges, it's probably a good idea to apply just a little bit of sheetrock, like this. I hope this video was useful to you. Please like and subscribe if it was, and please like and subscribe if it wasn't. Thanks for watching.